All right, man. Let's talk about should the Pistons still go out there and try to get Brandon Ingram? Apparently, the Hawks, the Jazz are the leading candidates to get Brandon Ingram, or would it be overkill at this point? Now, we'll also at some point in the next couple of days start to get to talking about the situation with the trading some of this maybe access assets that the Pistons have. And I think another trade is coming, so I don't know, but but yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, would it be overkill? And I like that somebody made a great point about Brandon Ingram, and they said if anybody would know, is he from Charlotte? I didn't know that. He's from Kingston, North Carolina. I think that's where Jerry Stackhouse is from. Somebody made a great point about Brandon Ingram. If anybody on the Pistons group on Facebook, if anybody knows Brandon Ingram's value, it's Tarzan Langdon, because he used to coach over there, right? So, at the end of the day, I feel that you know, you would be investing over $400 million in a Brandon Ingram and Kay Cunningham, two guys that haven't shown that they can stay healthy. So that's a problem right then and there. Okay. So Brandon, Paul George, Klay Thompson find new homes, options for teams trying to find more shot creators and shooters and drying up. While Utah is getting more calls about Lauri Markkanen, why the interest in DeMar DeRozan, which he got traded to the Sacramento Kings. So it says New Orleans to trade attempts to trade Brandon Ingram has intensified in recent days. Sources tell the Stein line on Ingram's side with the reality of contract extension terms. His camps to hope for, not for coming from the Pelicans. So they could be looking to move him. The Kings already got DeMar DeRozan. So also they're talking about so they're out of it. There's also been talks about the Atlanta Hawks getting up in there. Pause. There's been talks about the Utah Jazz. So the Kings got DeRozan. The Cavaliers, they have the firepower. The Charlotte Hornets, he from the area or from the great state of North Carolina. So a couple of teams that may be interesting. I feel like the Pistons can add a better package than those guys. But then again, are you prepared to invest $400 million into two players, and can they get you where you need to go? That's the problem. And it's really not a rush. And then can they fit together? And then what's the plan to make sure you can get them to play all these games and don't miss important games? And can they win enough games together? It's a lot of questions that go into the pot, in my humble opinion, when talking about these two guys, man. So in my humble opinion, I think that it's an interesting conversation. It's early in the process, but if that one of them or both of them can stay healthy, this will be a no brainer. I would do it. But how do you see them fitting? I mean, what is the plan to make sure they able to stay healthy? What's the plan? How can we get them on a new? How can we get them where they need to be at physically? These dudes, they do all this camera work and these edited films of them working out in the summer, but you don't see too many of these dudes lifting no weights. I told y'all that's the problem. They don't lift no weights, so it's a risk. It's a risk. You know, it's a risk. That's what I would say. It's a risk. You know, it's a risk. You know, it's a risk. So I understand why they wouldn't take that risk. You got a lot of guys like Ron Hollins. You know, you know, you know, you know. So 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 you got guys that you can develop. I feel like they had a guy that they could have drafted in Cody Zeller, not Cody Zeller, or Cody Williams, that could do the same thing that Ingram can do. So, um, but like I said before, it's not a race. I mean, it's not a sprint; it's a marathon. You know, real talk. And and I think it's really like if the deal come there and it makes sense, I think you go ahead and do it. But at the end of the day, you got a bunch of wings that you're trying to develop. Develop those guys and see what happens. So it's only year one. You don't want to rush and turn this thing around. But if he was more durable, I think nobody would have a problem with trading for him. I think he would be obtainable anyway. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. So, um, in my opinion, I think they've done enough. I think they've done enough. So that's my opinion. I think they've done enough this offseason. Maybe another trade to come or another pickup as far as finding another big and maybe a couple guys they probably want to dump and get more assets for, like Isaiah Stewart and possibly Jay Ivey or something like that. Or maybe, we just keep these guys together, maybe add a big fella in there, and then we just, see under a new coaching staff, can they start to develop the way we need them to develop. So, in my opinion, if they did it, I wouldn't be mad. I would understand it. But I think he's done enough this offseason for them to be more improved. And with the right coaching staff, I think they got a lot of players, that's going to help the young guys. And a lot of the young guys going to push these older guys. And a lot of these older guys, you got to remember, too, they're important. I mean, they're going to be playing hard, too, because a lot of these guys only got 1 or 2 years. Malik Beasley, 1 year. Tim Hardaway, 1 year. Tobias Harris, 2 years. So, you know what I'm saying? Um, they ain't got a lot of years left. They ain't got a lot of years left. So, a lot of these guys playing for long-term contracts and playing for stability, and playing for contracts so they can get some type of longevity as well, too. So that's something to look at as well. But as of right now, I mean, if the price is just so good you can't pass it up, I definitely understand. But for the most part, he didn't have life-threatening injuries with blood clots and all types of stuff. He didn't have life-threatening injuries with blood clots and all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is, man. So, we end up seeing pretty much how it goes and that, but I think they closed the door on that, and I think the pickings are slim for him. They're slim, but because of the injury history and the missing the games and all that type of stuff, and I think a lot of New Orleans fans probably just ready to move on between him and Zion Williamson together and missing all those games. But hey, check out Detroit Pistons Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications. We go live, we drop video. Financially, want to support the channel, Cash App, $CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link description. Hit the link tree, find me on X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Appreciate the love, support. Let me know what you girls and guys think in the comment section. Peace.